Okay, let's jump right into today's explainer, because we are unpacking an absolutely incredible narrative. We're looking at the journey of Liam. He was a 23-year-old school janitor who dealt with daily ridicule and total dismissal from the very people he worked around, but who ultimately transformed himself into a tech billionaire. And the crazy thing, he didn't do it through luck. There was no sudden windfall. He did it through sheer determination and just this relentless, obsessive self-education. As we go through this, keep in mind the massive gap between where Liam started, literally mopping floors before the sun came up, and where he ended up. It's one of those stories that completely challenges everything we think we know about potential and success.
Now, this quote right here perfectly captures what I like to call the iceberg concept of Liam's life. The source material describes this really heartbreaking early morning scene. Picture this. Liam is mopping the school hallways, students are slowly trickling in, and most of them completely ignore him. But one student actually points and laughs, telling him, "You're just a janitor. You'll clean floors forever." But you see, that student was only looking at the tip of the iceberg. The stark contrast here is between the people who only saw a guy with a mop and the massive unseen ambition that was just brewing right beneath the surface. Liam didn't yell back. He didn't get angry. He just smiled and quietly replied that while today he cleans floors, one day he's going to build something that changes the world.
So, let's get into Section 1, the janitor's secret dream.
The really crucial point to understand here is the unseen grind. This wasn't just some casual weekend hobby. Every single night after his exhausting shift, Liam didn't go home to watch TV or relax. He stayed right there, in the dark, in the school library. He literally taught himself computer programming, app development, artificial intelligence, and business. He was essentially giving himself a world-class tech education entirely on his own. The text actually mentions his best buddy, Jake, who was this funny school security guard. Jake would bring him snacks and ask, "Dude, do you ever sleep?" And Liam's response? It perfectly sums up his drive. He just laughed and said he'd sleep after his dream wakes up. He was laying the foundation for an absolute skyscraper while everyone else assumed he was just sweeping the dirt.
Which brings us to Part 2. Character earns opportunity.
One evening, Liam is cleaning an empty classroom and he finds this super expensive laptop left behind. Now remember his circumstances. He is living in poverty. His friend Jake is right there whispering to him, "Hey, no one knows it's here." The temptation for a quick payout is literally staring him in the face. But Liam doesn't even hesitate. He immediately tracks down the owner and returns it. The owner turns out to be Professor Noah, the school's computer science teacher. Noah is blown away, smiles, and drops his powerful truth on him. Talent gets attention. Character earns opportunity. By doing the right thing when absolutely no one was looking, Liam unlocks crucial mentorship in the light. Because of that one single act of integrity, Professor Noah steps up and offers to mentor him.
All right, moving into Section 3. Building through the struggle.
So, with a new mentor in his corner, Liam enters what is basically a grueling real-life training montage. We're talking late-night coding, relentless bug fixing, and intense business planning. During this heavy building phase, Professor Noah gives him a vital piece of advice. He tells him that great technology doesn't just exist to look flashy. It exists to solve real, tangible problems. And that right there is a total light bulb moment for Liam. It shifts his entire focus. He decides to take all those AI and programming skills he learned in the library and channel them into an AI-powered education app designed specifically to help students learn faster.
Now, I want you to ask yourself what you would do in this exact situation. Liam's brilliant software catches the eye of this greedy businessman named Mr. Blackwood. Blackwood strolls in and offers what basically everyone would consider the ultimate easy way out. He says, "Sell me your app, I'll put my name on it, and you'll get paid." For a guy who was just mopping floors, that's a life-changing temptation, but Liam shuts it down. He firmly rejects the offer and tells him, "I didn't build this just to make money, I built it to help people." And he sends the guy packing. It's such a great look into how his true motivation was lasting impact, not just a quick payday.
Let's look at Section 4, the viral mistake.
Okay, this is where things get pretty funny. Liam finally launches his highly principled, beautifully coded app online, and nothing. Crickets. It is a complete flop right out of the gate. But then,
His buddy, Jake the security guard, tries to step in and help out by making a funny little ad for the app. Only, it doesn't go exactly as planned. Instead of typing the app's actual slogan, "Learn faster," Jake hilariously typos it as "Sleep faster." And it turns into the perfect happy accident. The internet absolutely loves it. Everyone gets a good laugh, the clip goes massively viral, and boom, suddenly, millions of people discover the app. The downloads just skyrocket, all because of a misspelled advertisement.
Which leads us to part 5, innovation over imitation. But you know how it goes in the tech world, right? Rapid success puts a giant target on your back. A massive tech company notices Liam's viral success and they shamelessly copy all of his app's features. The source material notes that Liam's employees go into a complete panic. They think it's all over. But Liam? He doesn't break. He just smiles confidently, looks at his panicked team, and drops this realization on them. They copied our software. They can't copy our innovation. He completely understands that while code can be copy-pasted, the creative mind behind it can't be. With that mindset, his team rallies, they drop an even better, more advanced version of the app, and millions more users flood their platform. They proved that true resilience is always going to beat cheap imitation. And finally, Section 6, the ultimate investment.
Just look at this timeline. It is wild. In just a monumental 5-year leap, Liam goes from day 1, mopping those school floors in total obscurity, to year 1, successfully launching his AI app, all the way to year 5, where magazine headlines are literally reading, "Former school janitor becomes tech billionaire." He's now the owner of one of the fastest-growing tech companies on the planet. And during a big press interview, a reporter asks him the golden question: what changed your life? Liam doesn't credit the viral mistake or even his mentor. He just smiles and simply says, "I never stopped learning." But here's the best part, bringing his whole hero's journey completely full circle. Liam doesn't just hoard his new wealth. He goes right back to his roots. He starts donating computers to underfunded schools. He sets up completely free coding academies for kids. At one point, the school principal from his janitor days, Mrs. Evelyn, is brought to tears by what he's doing. She looks at him and says, "You didn't just build software, you built opportunities." He actively used his success to make sure the next generation wouldn't have to struggle to learn in the dark like he did.
So what is the ultimate takeaway we need to extract from Liam's journey? It's that education really is your greatest investment. And we're not just talking about formal classroom education. We're talking about self-education, those quiet hours reading in the library, the absolute refusal to let your current circumstances dictate your future potential. Learn every day, improve every day. Dream big, stay humble, and whatever you do, never give up. Relentless self-education, backed by solid character, is without a doubt your most powerful asset.
The whole narrative wraps up with this really incredible scene where Liam is walking the halls of his old school and he bumps into a nervous young janitor. The kid asks him if someone like him can really become successful. Liam just hands the young guy a brand new laptop and tells him that his uniform doesn't decide his future, his determination does. So, as we close out this explainer today, I want to leave you with this final thought. If the future truly belongs to those who never stop learning, what step will you take and what will you learn today?